Hello everyone, today we are back again with another video, and today's video topic is pattern printing. So basically pattern printing is most important topic under the for loop programs. So what is pattern printing and what do we need to understand the pattern printing? We will understand these all topics in this video. So now without delaying more time, let's get right into the video. So here we are back, and today we will be learning the theory part of the pattern printing. We will program these three patterns and also understand the basic idea behind nested for loop. We will program more patterns in our next videos. So let's start with this video. Now, first of all, what are patterns? Basically, looking at these, you can understand what are patterns. Patterns are just a group of objects aligned together to form a shape. This is what pattern is. In pattern printing, we need multiple for loops, and we also need to design our logic much more efficiently to draw these patterns using program. So now let's see what we'll understand by looking at these three examples. We can say that these are 2D shapes. You see, they have 2 dimensions. Same goes for these, and same goes for this one. So basically patterns are 2-dimensional shapes. So what is the main idea behind pattern printing in for loop? The main idea behind pattern printing is nested loop. Now what is this nested loop? Let us first. Okay. So basically we need nested loop to understand and to draw patterns using for loop. So what is nested loop? Let's see that. Basically nested loop looks something like this. We have already learned about for loop, and you can see we already know what is nested is. Nested means one inside another, and the same goes for here. Nested for loop means one for loop inside another for loop. This is what nested for loop is. Okay, here you can see I have taken two variables. First one is I, and second one is j. Let's see what are the differences. You see I have taken two variables I and j. Here also I have taken I and j to understand the value and how it changes from each iteration. Now let's say I start I from 0, and I also give a command that it should end or equals to 4. Let's say it does not start from 0, it starts from 1 and it ends till 5. And I gave here I plus plus. This is what our program is. Our I will change its value. It will start from 1. You see, after executing this statement, this another for loop, it will change its value to 2. Then after executing this one, it will change itself to 3, then 4, then 5. And after 5 this condition becomes false, thus making the I loop ends. Now what is this happening inside this j loop? To understand that, let us see. When I becomes 1, this for loop runs once, and when this for loop runs once, this j iteration runs many times, as many as we want to. Let's say I here write I j is equals to 1 and j less than 5 and also j plus plus. What will this do? When I is equals to 1, j will become first 1. You see, I becomes 1. Now j will running, and in the j it will run 5 times. After this I becomes 2. Again j will run 5 times. J loop will run 5 times. Again I becomes 3. Again j will run 5 times. This is what going until I become 5, j will be running 5 times, and then when I become 6, it will end there and j will not run further. So basically what is happening, when I is 1, j value 1 to goes from 1 to 5. When I is 2, j value goes from 1 to 5. When I is 3, j value goes from 1 to 5, and these goes on until the end, that is till 5. So basically this is the idea behind nested for loop. So now how it is related to pattern printing. So let's see that in our first example. So let's say this is our pattern, first pattern. Also we have to understand the columns and rows. In these we have to understand how these are treated. You see, this one is 1 1, this is 1 2, this is 1 3, 1 4, 1 5. This is this one. You see, this is the line for first one. Then here it will be 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, and 2 5. This is for this one, and again this goes till here 5 5. So basically you see, I and j are these values. You see, first if I write here I is equals to 1, I is less than 5, I plus plus, same goes for the j is equals to 1, j less than 5, j plus plus. Then what is happening? First I value becomes 1. First of all, I become 1. When I is 1, see here, I is 1, I is 1. You can understand this like this. This single element, this one, is represented by like this, I of a of ij. So basically I is 1 here, and then j is 1. Then I is constant as 1 in this complete line, but j changes as 2 3 4 5. Same goes here, I is constant here and j will changes till 5. And then a next line is entered. Then I will be here, change, j will again changes from 1 to 5. Then it will goes to the next line. This is what is happening here. So basically this, to print this pattern, we need to program our example something like this. We will be programming these in VS Code, so don't worry there. Please understand the concept here. So basically what is happening, we are changing the value of I first and then making it constant until the for loop of j, that is the j for loop, runs. After the execution of j for loop, when the j condition become false, I iteration occur, and then again j loop starts, and again it will become false, and then I iteration will run again. This is how it is happening. Now let's see our second example. This is our second example. Now let's see here. We have here 1 1, we have here 2 1 and 2 2, here 3 1, 3 2, 3 3. Basically this goes something like this. So you see here, I is 1 here, I is 2 here, basically I is 1 here, I is 2 here, I is 3 here, and it goes on. So I will be same loop as I is equals to 1, it will goes until 5, I plus plus here. Now what is happening in the j part? You see, when I is equals to 1, j executes only one time. When I is 2, j execute only 2 times. in the third line, I value is 3 and j is executing only 3 times. That means there is some relation between I and j. So let's say what is that relation? So that relation must be something like this. I should start from 1 here, and it will end or equals to I, and j will increase here. So see basically what is happening here. When I is 1, j becomes also 1. It checks, is it smaller than or equals to I? It is not smaller than, but definitely it is equals to I. So the execution of star occurs, and then new line, it goes to the new line, and then after that what happens, the value of I changes to 2, and 2 in the 2 the j again become 1. After j become 1, the j condition, that is j less than equals to I, checked. Here j is less than 2 I. Why? Because j value is 1 and I value is 2. So basically it is going something like this. I value is 1, then j value is also 1. I value is 2, then j value will become 1 to 2, and it goes on something like this. I value is 3, then j value will be 1 to 3, and this for loop will something like this. So j must be here, this is I. Okay, this is the basic relation between I and j, and the pattern, this pattern is known as pyramid pattern, and it is printed using the relation between j and I. So now we will move to the next program. Our next programs look something like this. You see there is a you can understand the basic concept here. Again we will give the this pattern numbers, each element of that pattern. Let's say this star is 1 1, this is 1 2, this is 1 3, this is 1 4, this is 1 5. We can do that in the much better way. Let's say this is 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, and goes on. Next this is 4 1, 4 2, this goes on till 4 4, this goes on till 5 5, this goes on till 3 3, and start with 3 1. So basically you will understand the pattern here. This is something like this. When I starts from 5, you see I value is 5 here, then 4 here, then 3 here, and it's decreasing with each line. So I value is 5. Here the symbol will change here, this symbol will change, that is it must be something like this, greater than equals to. So basically I is equals to 5, I greater equals to 1, I minus minus. So this what will make, this will do something like this. I value will become here 5 4 3 2 1. This goes on something like this. Now what happens to the j value? We will do something like this. When I value is 5, we have to print j 5 times. So we will start j as 1. You see we will end it till I, and we will increase it. So basically what is happening, in the when I is equals to 5, j is running from 1 to 5. When I 4, j is running from 1 to 4. When I is 3, j is running from 1 to 3, and this goes on until 1 to 1. So this is what this program is all about. We will understand these programs practically also, but to make this program much more friendly, you have to practice as many programs as you can. I will provide many questions related to pattern program, and we will also do few programs we will also do few programs, like many programs you can say. In the pattern problem, we will do at least 2 to 3 videos in pattern problems, and then we will understand what basic idea behind pattern printing is. Pattern printing are very much important in placement scenarios, so please understand this concept very much efficiently. If you didn't understand this concept, please re-watch this video. So now with that, we will end up this video, and we will be making the practical session of this video in our next video. So now let's wrap this up. Thank you for watching.